Hello, my friend. I don't know if there's been another year where I've been this excited about the Sephora VIB, Rouge, whatever you want to call it, insider sale. They have it every single year at Sephora where you can save a certain percentage depending on your status over at Sephora. And I think that there's just been a couple of things that I've had my eye on for a while, and I just keep telling myself, you know what, why am I paying full price for it? I don't need it right now, so I'm just gonna wait a little while until the sale, and then I'll pick up the things that I want. So I do want to do a video about my shopping cart and what I'm interested in buying, but today I want to focus on you. I want to focus on trying to help you based on my personal experiences to buy things that you'll like. So what I did today was I set up a Sephora cart of 34 items ranging from base makeup to eyeshadow to lipstick all the way to skincare and fragrance. I loaded up my cart with some of my favorite things at Sephora just to give you some recommendations of things you may want to pick up during the sale. So if you're curious to know what I picked, hang tight. We're getting into it right now. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit record on my screen right now, and we're just gonna go over the things that I put in my cart. This is the sale screen, so you can see here that this is happening starting on November 5th. Right now I'm a VIB, so I'm gonna be getting 15% off on the sale, but I know some of you are Rouge, gonna get the 20%, and then some of you are an insider, you're gonna get the 10%. So let's go ahead and jump into my cart, and I'll show you what I got. I have $1,423.90 in my cart. And if I'm pre-approved for a Visa credit card, so I could save $213 right now, but I won't because I'm sure I'll lose that and the 34% interest or whatever it is on that card. Sephora does rearrange your cart if you exit out and go back in. I don't know how they order it, but I do have my original cart that has things in order, so as long as I click appropriately, we should be able to keep all this in order, which is ideal. So let's go ahead and start with concealer. So what I chose was something that was sent to me in PR recently from Ilia, and it's the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. And I forgot to mention, just realized that there are gonna be timestamps down below. This is probably gonna be a long video, so feel free to skip around like a nonfiction book to the sections that you're interested in. But let's talk about concealer. So this particular concealer is very creamy and it is very, very easy to blend. It's got a nice medium to full coverage, but it definitely does not cake up in my fine lines, which I really appreciate. I don't feel like it has the coverage of the most intense full coverage concealers, but I find that those crease on me, and I would much rather have a concealer that doesn't crease, that's a little less full coverage. I don't have acne typically, so this is going to be more in my recommendation for brightening the under eye and for covering up under eye circles, and it works great for me. Now you're gonna notice quite a few Makeup by Mario products. I am a huge fan of this brand. I do get it in PR and I genuinely love the brand, but I'm gonna try to describe them so you can decide whether these products are right for you. So let's talk about the Makeup by Mario highlighter. So this is the Soft Glow highlighter. I find this to be kind of a step less glowy than those From Space highlighters, like when you think about the Becca highlighters, the Ofra highlighters, how they're very, very glowy. This is kind of a pulled back version of that. It's glowy, but it's not something that is going to create this really intense shine, which is where I'm moving as far as the highlighters that I personally like. So this one has a great lasting power, and it just really sets nicely on the skin without looking like it's on top of the skin. It melds really nicely. That's why I like it. As far as face primers, I know this one isn't very expensive, but it was my favorite face primer that I saw on the website. I almost picked the Hourglass one, but I really feel like that's overpriced for what you get. So this one I feel is really good. It is the High-Adherence Silicone Primer. Now when you hear silicone primer, typically you think that it's gonna be really silicone-y and really slippy. This one actually isn't like that. It's got some really nice moisturizing properties to it, but the silicone in there is just enough to help my makeup to last longer without feeling super silicone-y. So I personally don't feel like this fills pores very well. It's more just a nice base to hydrate the skin a little bit and also to help makeup last longer. Now this next one, the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. Recently, I've seen some negative reviews of this in that it cakes up on some people. Maybe it's the mix of certain foundations with this, but this has been a long time favorite of mine for many, many years. years. I think I got it from Influencer like freaking forever ago, and I still have my same jar from like 5 years ago. Should I be using it anymore? I think I'm okay, just because it is a powder product, but I know some people probably would have gotten rid of it by now. Not me. I still have mine, and it's just a really nice setting powder for me. It's very finely milled. It mattifies my face without making my face look super flat. It doesn't completely take away the shine from a luminous foundation, but it sets my under eyes and any shiny spots that I have that I don't want to be shiny really, really nicely. So I personally love the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I would love to know if for some reason you don't love this, why you don't love it, so other people can learn from you. But this is something that I highly recommend. Foundation, it was really difficult for me to find a foundation at Sephora that I have been loving, because I really love a lot of drugstore foundations, and I find them to be great and easy to use, and they give the finish that I like. A lot of the more high-end foundations that I've tried recently, I haven't really been crazy about. This is the one that I might repurchase. My La Mer Soft Fluid Longwear Foundation is a few years old, but it is in a pump and it still smells fine. I have very little of it left, so I may re-up on this. It just gives a beautiful satin finish. It's just gorgeous. It ticks all the boxes for me, kind of like the upcoming Lisa Eldridge foundation, the way that it claims. That's what this reminds me of, is just that beautiful soft focus look. And I have it on today. I don't know, I think it's looking real pretty. It's it's a medium coverage foundation, and it's exactly what I want. It's just really, really freaking expensive. Do I think it's worth $135? Absolutely not. I would say for me, like if I were gonna price this as how much I think the value of it, I would put it at like 50 bucks. But will I spring for 15% off of this? Maybe. I have to grit my teeth. I may get it, and I may just buy the Lisa Eldridge and cross my fingers and hope that it's just as good as the La Mer, because I do love this foundation. For contour, this I actually heard about from Marlena from Makeup Geek before we were friends. It was one of the first things that she had ever said to me, and I remember fangirling so much that Marlena had said when I was asking about contour products. She had recommended the Fenty Matchstick Contour Stick in, what's it called? It's called Amber, and I love this contour stick, but I do want to warn you, it is very cool toned. It's almost got a grayish undertone to it. So if that's your jam, then this may be something you're interested in. But what I really appreciate about this is that it's so easy to blend, and it just melts into my skin really, really nicely. And I still very much love this product, but just be warned that it is, at least the shade Amber, is very, very cool toned. So I don't know if that's what you're interested in or not, but I love it. So that's why I'm mentioning it. Back to some more Makeup by Mario, but honestly, I've been talking about this since I got it in PR. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. If you already have natural palettes and you're happy with them, don't buy this. It's not worth it. If you are looking for a good natural palette, if you're looking for an everyday palette that you can just put on and it's easy, this is it. This is fabulous. So easy to blend. It is based on natural human skin tones. That's where he got the tones from. So I think that's why it works so freaking well. Blending, lasting power, all of that. It is all matte. So it's a great pairing palette as well for a more bold eyeshadow color. Like if you just want to wear a little bit of blue or a little bit of purple, you set it up with the Master Mattes and then just throw one little pop of color on the lower lash line or the outer corner or the inner corner or whatever. And it's absolutely gorgeous. So if, like I said, if you already have a natural palette you love, don't buy it. It's not worth it. But if you're looking for one, like an everyday go-to, you don't have to think palette, this is it. All right, mascara. We have another product recently sent to me in PR by Ilia. This is the Fullest Volumizing Mascara. Now, I do want to add something to my review of this. Now that I've had it open for about a month and a half, I started reviewing it after a couple of weeks of using it. Length is fantastic. Volume is fantastic. For a natural mascara, it is by far the best natural mascara I have ever used. Just beautiful, voluminous lashes lashes. But what I've noticed is that the more it is open, it does tend to smudge a little bit, which has been very disappointing to me, just to start seeing that happening where it wasn't happening before. So I do want to add that in here. So if you have a problem with mascara smudging, you probably want to skip it. But if you don't and you just want a really good lengthening and voluming mascara, and if you really like natural marketing, this is probably a good one for you. It's still a really good mascara. It's just every once in a while I'll like touch my lashes or whatever and it'll smudge a bit, and I'm not a fan of that, unfortunately. So I wanted to mention it for that reason, to kind of update my review on it. But I also want to recommend it to the right person. Okay, I can't help it. Makeup by Mario makes good things. So this is the eye primer that I chose, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Okay, so I use the one that is in light. So I use the color that's on the right side, which is just slightly darker. So if you're very, very fair, the one on the left will probably be closer to your skin tone. The one on the right is the one that's closer to my skin tone. I do not use the powder that's with it. I've tried to use it and haven't really found too much of a benefit, but maybe it's because I'm not a professional makeup artist and I just don't notice the difference that it makes. Maybe it makes a difference and I just can't see it. But for me, just laying my eyeshadow on top of the primer works great. And like I said, I mostly use the one on the right, but if I'm looking for more of a brightening of the look, like how we used to use that NYX pencil and milk and like make our lids white in order to make colors pop, the one on the left definitely would do that for me. I do appreciate the different skin tones that he's represented here though. He has the 3 different shades and they are supposed to be lighter than your skin tone. But I honestly, I kind of like the one that almost matches my skin tone. So you just have to decide whether these products will match you. But I will tell you, I really like the formula a lot as far as it not creasing, going on super creamy and easily. And it makes my makeup last longer, makes my eyeshadow last longer. Eyeshadows are super easy to blend over top of it. It's just a really good formula. Oh, I just realized I accidentally put in the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. That's another good one. I try to just do one thing from each category. So I would probably, if between these two, it really would make a difference. You just, whether you would want all of the colors versus just having the one. Also, the Urban Decay Primer Potion's $4 cheaper. So, you know, one or the other. The Urban Decay, the one in original, doesn't really have much of a tint to it, where the Makeup by Mario one does have a tint to it. So it's really gonna be personal preference there. If I had to choose between the two, I would probably pick the Makeup by Mario. So yeah. That's that. As far as liquid eyeliner, you know I love my liquid eyeliners, absolutely love them. We're gonna go back old school with the KVD Beauty Tattoo Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. Now I will tell you, I have not used this since it was Kat Von D Beauty. I would imagine it's the same. I don't know that for a fact, but I could not find another, none of my other favorite liquid eyeliners are in here. They don't sell them at Sephora. So right now I'm loving the one by Hindash. That one's awesome. I love the one by M Cosmetics. What else? The Uma Beauty one is really, really good. The Cleopatra ink one. There's so many really good liners, but none of them are here. So the one I found at Sephora that I loved years ago and hopefully would still love is the KVD Beauty one. But that's all I got there, unfortunately. Brow pencil, I had a really hard time. I honestly didn't want to pick another Makeup by Mario product, even though I love his brow pencils. I was like, I cannot make it all. Can't be the Makeup by Mario show. So let's talk about the Benefit Precisely My Brow. This was sent to me in PR a long time ago, but I've also purchased it. I've done both. This is a fantastic brow pencil, and one thing that really stands out with this, even more than the Makeup by Mario, is that the shade range is just incredible. They have so many shades, and they even have gray. That's so freaking cool to me. So really, you should be able to find, no matter what your hair color is, you should be able to find a shade here. And it's just the perfect brow pencil for me, which means that it's not too hard, it's not too soft, it's got a really nice fine point if you like to draw your hairs on. It's perfect for that. Spoolie on the back already there. It's just the perfect brow pencil. So yeah, I mean, thinking about it really and truly, if I'm gonna really think about it, I would probably recommend to you the Benefit one, just because it does have that really fine point and there's so many shades, but I do love the Makeup by Mario one. I think this is a better recommend though. For eyeshadow, again, I had some trouble. I've recently talked about the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette, so I wanted to mention something else. And honestly, like this was the one that stood out to me. Like, what would I truly recommend? And the Natasha Denona Bronze Eyeshadow palette is really fun to play with. There's some really fun shades in there that I don't have anywhere else. Plus, it has some really good staple gold and bronzy shades, reddish shades, if you dig on that. If you like a more warm-toned palette, this is really good. It's a good palette. I also appreciate that this one is at the $65 price point and not the $125 price point. Personally, for me, I would much rather have smaller pans and a cheaper price point. So that fits into this. I'm gonna go ahead and click on the shades. There are so many beautiful shades in here. I've heard compliments on this palette from people from lots of different skin tones. I especially really love this pink shade here. I can't click on it and show it, but the pink one that's third from the bottom, it is so freaking beautiful. I also love the one that's right above that and the one right above that. I mean, it's just, if you dig on these colors, it's a great palette. I think that's just what it comes down to, is whether you want these colors in your life and you want to spend money on it. It's just very high quality. Okay, I did it again. I should have gone over this card. I did put in the Mario liquid eyeliner. Okay, but this is the thing about the Master Mattes eyeliner by Makeup by Mario. I gave it to my oldest child because they are so into winged eyeliner. They have been absolutely loving this one because it does give a super fine point. So this is just kind of my throw out from my oldest child, that how much they love it. And they get so many compliments on their wings. Like, if I can, I'll show you a picture of their wings, just the spiky perfectness. Like, I don't know how they do it. Just it's a really nice liner just because it is so fine. Honestly, from what I remember, I would personally might pick the Kat Von D over this one just because it is a brush tip versus more of a marker tip. But I will tell you, this one, it is a great liner, and I gave it to my kid. Oh my gosh, can I stop with the repeats? Okay, so I keep putting in all this. I thought I didn't put the Makeup by Mario Master Blade in there, but I did. We already talked about it, so we're gonna skip that. Let's talk about the Benefit Cosmetics 24-Hour Brow Setter Clear Brow Gel. This is a fantastic brow gel. It is everything I want in a brow gel, which to me is, it doesn't stink. I hate when brow gels smell like alcohol. It doesn't make my brows feel crunchy, yet it holds my brows in place. So that's really what I need. This one does it. I've gotten this in PR and I've also purchased it. It is wonderful. The last thing I want to mention about it is the brush on it is really nice to be able to make sure that all of the brow hairs are coated, and you can really shape your brows in any way you want. So if you want to do more of a feathered look, you can. If you want to brush them straight over, you can. And it'll just hold them wherever it is, but without any kind of like hairspray feel to it. Another eyeshadow palette that I picked, this was actually gifted to me by a subscriber, and I'm so incredibly thankful because I have been loving this. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 7. This is the Divine Rose palette. Again, if you like these shades, highly recommend. The big thing about Pat McGrath is you really don't get a lot of shadows in her palettes, but they are very high quality in my opinion. They do go on a little bit differently in that they are not quite as, I don't know, like slippy, like smooth, like they're a little more powdery, a little less intense on the application, but they build really nicely up to intense. So they can be easier to work with than, let's say, an ABH eyeshadow palette or like a ColourPop or a Hip Dot or a Juvia's Place or something like that that just go on pa-pow and like punch you in the eye. Like these, they slowly build, which I personally really like, but it's different. It's different to work with. So you just kind of have to decide whether that's something you want or not, whether you like this color selection or not. I personally really love it. I love the light pinks in there and the bronzes. I love that color combo. So this one's been working out great for me. Moving over to lips, let's talk about the Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez lipstick. This was purchased and I love this color. I got the shade Thankful. No, I got Appreciate. Appreciate's the one that I have. It is very cool brown. They describe it as cool brown. it's cool brown. Like, be prepared. You're getting a 90s brown. It's so creamy. Lasting power is fantastic for a creamy lipstick, and it's just gorgeous on the lips. No patchiness, no weird wearing off, anything like that. It's just everything I want a lipstick to be. As far as glosses, my favorite gloss that they sell at Sephora is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer, and my favorite shade is the original Fenty Glow. I did get a gift set a while back where it had a bunch of the other shades, and honestly, none of them compared to me to Fenty Glow. Like, that one, the original, is just perfection, and I think it looks so beautiful on so many people. It does have a little bit of glitter in it, but it's so subtle. It's so fine. It really does just give a nice extra glow to your lips rather than it looking like you have glitter on your lips. It's not really like that. And of course, the applicator is really soft and comfortable. It's got a really nice scent. I think it kind of smells like vanilla and cherries, but I've heard other people describe it as more of a candy scent, but I just love everything about this lip gloss, and I will probably repurchase it forever. For lip balms, these are, I think, very overpriced for what they are, but they're really nice. So if you are interested in purchasing them, hopefully they'll come back in stock, because I'm sitting here looking at them and they're like all out of stock. What is up with that? That's super weird. There's like some kind of run on fresh sugar lip balms. That's super weird. But these feel really good on the lips. They have a very nice, very slight tint to them, and I just love the way that they wear. I love the way that they feel. I do think that they're overpriced though, so maybe if you want to try them, maybe get a gift set of the mini sizes. They usually have those at the holidays. Maybe get one of those instead of just getting one at full price, but you just kind of have to decide what's best for you. But I just really like this formula. I like the way that it feels. I like the way that it makes my lips feel, and I especially really like the very slight tint that it gives. And then for liquid lipstick, you're gonna be like, shut up, Jen, we get it, we get it, we get it. Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Cream. Again, I hope they come back in stock. My favorite one is She's Independent. It is one of my go-to lip colors right now. Formula is very creamy, but it does have a nice lasting power. Once the creaminess blots off, you do still have color on your lips, which I really like, but it's so comfortable and it just looks pretty. Like, it's just got a pretty finish to it. It doesn't look like paint. I don't know how to describe it. It's just such a beautiful formula. He nailed it. All right, I honestly couldn't find another blush that I've tried recently that I would recommend. I have, again, Makeup by Mario sends me stuff in PR, so I did receive this in PR. It's just a beautiful formula of blush, very, very buildable. They have a very nice range of shades there, and it's good lasting power. I love how it builds. It's beautiful in the skin. The shades are very natural looking and pretty. The only other blush that I saw on Sephora's website that I think I would recommend would be the ones from Tarte, but it's been a really long time since I've used them, and I've tried these very recently and really, really love them. So I don't know which, like, if I tried a new Tarte blush, whether, like, which one it would be. So just take it as both recommendations. They perform very similarly is what it comes down to. For bronzers, this is a classic, the Benefit Hula bronzer. I talked about this in a video recently, how much I still love my Hula bronzer. It's just a fantastic formula. Again, very buildable, looks beautiful on my skin tone. I've been using it for many, many years, and it's just a great product. And I love that they came out with more than just the one shade. The original one is the one that I've been using. And again, it just, what else do you say? It's just a good bronzer. It is the way that it builds up on the skin, the tone of it, in lasting power. It's just great. I don't use a brush though. I will tell you, I do use my own angled brush with it. I don't use their brush. Do you use their brush? I don't use their brush. The last makeup product that I want to talk about is the Cream Blush Choice, and it is not Makeup by Mario. I do like these better than his. Sorry, Mario. I do like these better. These are the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Cream Blush Sticks, and I think the big difference is how Mario's go on so hard, like, that was almost really inappropriate. They go on very pigmented, very quickly, and they take a little bit to blend out. where the Milk Makeup ones are much easier to work with. They go on a little lighter, but then they build and they blend in beautifully. They're much easier to work with than any other stick blushes that I own. The big thing about this is that it looks like they don't have their full size anymore, which I applaud because you don't need a full size. Those things were freaking ginormous. Like you could pass them on to your grandkids. There was way too much product in those things. So I really do think the mini size is like more appropriate for like a regular human that's using blush every day. If you've ever had a full size Milk Makeup lip and cheek blush stick, have you ever used one up? I'd be so curious if anybody in the audience has ever used one up, because I would doubt it. I'm sure somebody has somewhere that's used it every day for many, many years maybe. But my point is the mini size is a great size. All right, let's go into skincare. Okay, so this, remember I was talking about earlier how there was a product that I was just waiting on for the Sephora sale. This is it. This is the, oh no, I went out of it, no. Okay, well, it's probably gonna be out of order when I click back in, but we'll try. Let's just pause for a second and hope my cart stays in order. If not, we'll find the things that we haven't talked about yet. All right, Sunday Riley A+ High Dose Retinol Serum. I got this in FabFitFun a while back, and this has been a game-changing product for me. I hadn't used a lot of retinol products before this, and I will tell you that when I use this, I see a huge difference in my skin. My skin looks plumper. You do have to use it on a regular basis though, but my skin looks plumper, and it just looks prettier. Just overall, my skin tone is more evened. It's just a really nice product, but it is $85 and I did not want to spend $85 on it. I will give you a hint. I'm not buying it at Sephora. Video coming soon. Oh, BT Dubs, FabFitFun is a sponsor video and I don't pay for the product. Everything is out of order. Ah, I hate you, Sephora. I hate you so very much. Okay, so let's just go down and we'll just go down the ones I haven't talked about yet. So Shiseido facial cottons. Let's talk about those for a second. If you have tried Shiseido facial cottons, you know why these are in here. If you're using just regular like facial cottons with toners or whatever, if once you buy the Shiseido ones, you will never go back to regular ones. In my opinion, they are soft and they are durable. They do not fall apart. They feel amazing on the skin and they're just wonderful. I think they are definitely worth $12 for a pack of them. One thing that I do is I'll cut them in half and then only use half of them so that I can stretch my bag out just a little bit longer. But you don't necessarily even have to do that. It's just, that's just a personal thing because I can use my toner on just half of one and then you get twice as many, so that works. But yeah, if you use facial cottons, I highly recommend the Shiseido ones, trying them out, especially if you're getting them on a discount. It's like, spring for the fancy ones every once in a while. Treat your skin nice. Drunk Elephant Protini Polypeptide Moisturizer. This has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. I do believe my first one was sent in PR by Drunk Elephant, but then I repurchased it. So this is the Drunk Elephant, like I said, Protini Polypeptide Moisturizer. Again, I can totally tell a difference when I use this every day. I usually use this at night. I'll put on a serum, I'll let the serum sink in, and then I'll put this on over top. And it is just beautiful. It makes my skin so soft and moisturized. Also, it has some great anti-aging ingredients in it, and it's just a beautiful product. I also love the way the pump is on it. Is there a picture of it? Let me see if there's a picture of how the pump works. There it is. So you can see you push down the top and there's a little hole in the center where the product comes out. And I'm telling you, when I opened that product up, I was super curious when I ran out whether there'd be any product left in the jar. There was nothing. Like I couldn't even get a spatula in there to pull another use out. Like there was like nothing left in the container. So this allows you to use every last drop, which I absolutely love. This is a wonderful product. Okay, the perfume is next. So my favorite perfume, or one of my favorite brands of perfume, is Atelier. Atelier makes really sexy perfumes. So I actually might add this to my actual Sephora cart because there are ones in here that I haven't tried yet, but every Atelier cologne I've ever smelled, I have loved, or perfume, whatever you want to call it, I have absolutely loved. They are just edible. They're like sexy and edible. I love them so much. So this one comes with, let me see, Yeah, so I've tried the clementine one, the vanilla one. I've never tried the lemon. Cedar Atlas, I've never tried that. I've tried the orange, I've never tried the lime. The oolong I've never tried, and the pomelo one I've never tried. So I've tried about half of them. I may actually add this to my really real cart because I really love their perfumes. Lasting power is fantastic, and they just smell good. Like, they're just good at perfume. Okay, let's scroll down and okay, so I did end up adding the Drunk Elephant Virgin Marula face oil. Is this 100% necessary? No, but it's one of those things I would never in a million years spend full price on. So especially if I was getting 20% off, this would be something that I would invest in. This was actually gifted to me by a friend first, and then it was sent to me in PR by Drunk Elephant, and I honestly didn't repurchase just because of the price point, but I will tell you, my skin felt amazing when I was using this, and just how supple my skin was. It just felt supple. Is that a thing? I think it's a thing. And the product feels good on the skin. It is a bit oily, but it does seep into the skin nicely, and it's just a nice product. I know there are marula oils you can get from other brands for less expensive. I've honestly really liked this one the best, but there isn't a ton of difference between them. This one just makes me feel a little fancier, and I do think it is a little bit better than some of the cheaper options. Another great night product for moisture. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon plus AHA Glow Sleeping Mask. I actually bought this at an Ipsy event when Glow Recipe was there. I love this product. It smells like watermelons. It smells incredible. This one is a nice way to rehydrate the skin. So we've been talking before about moisturizing the skin. So helping with the oil balance in your skin, making sure that all of that is balanced. This one is better for the water content. So if you have dehydrated skin, not dry skin, if you have dehydrated skin, this is going to be a great product for you. And even acne prone skin can be dehydrated and cause problems and actually cause more acne by having your skin be dehydrated and your skin to overproduce oil because it wants to fix the problem, so it overproduces oil. So this has been a great product for me as far as hydration goes. Also with the AHAs in it, which is a chemical exfoliator, it's just really nice to it's mild. It's a mild chemical exfoliator. It doesn't do a ton like a serum might or like an AHA toner might, but it is a really nice product, and my skin looks beautiful when I wake up after using this, and I love the scent of it. It smells so good. Y'all know how much I love my cleansing balms. I have tried so many freaking cleansing balms, and I'm very picky. I want my cleansing balms to take the day off. I want them to take all my makeup off, and I do not want it to be hard to get off of my face. Yes, I know if you're using a cleansing balm to take your makeup off, you should double cleanse. I get it. I don't want to feel like I have to double cleanse to get my cleanser off. The Clinique Take the Day Off is the best makeup removing cleansing balm I have ever used. Ever. It is the most effective. It pulls off every kind of makeup I've ever tried it with. I've never had a problem with it removing my eye makeup ever. And it's that solid, reliable formula. They did do a sponsor post on my Instagram once, but I have been loving this since the beginning of my channel. Probably I discovered this maybe in 2014, and they didn't sponsor me till I think 2020. So this has been a love for many, many years. Actually, this is a funny story about this. I actually was at an Ipsy event, I want to say in 2016, and Clinique was doing a casting call kind of thing. So they had you sit in a booth and talk about your favorite Clinique product, and I talked about this, and they never called me for anything like ever. But I'm just saying, my point is it took 4 more years for them to sponsor anything on my channel, but this has been a love of mine for a really long time because of how good it is. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. The best cleansing balms, in my opinion, if you go to the ingredient list, ethahexyl palmitate. If you see it start off with ethahexyl palmitate, it's going to most likely be a very, very good cleansing balm. It has always worked for me. Whenever I see that ingredient in the first or second ingredient, it's always effective. But I do feel like Clinique Take the Day Off is the most effective. I do know that palm oil derivatives, some people don't use palm oil derivatives for environmental reasons. I totally get that. You're going to want to skip this. But if you know, if you want to, if that's, you know, if that doesn't bother you, Clinique Take the Day Off is fantastic. Okay, just a couple more things in here. All right, Superfood Antioxidant Cleanser by Youth to the People. I did get this for free at an Ipsy event once, and that's how I was introduced to it, and I have repurchased it since. This is a wonderful cleanser. It is effective. It smells good. It doesn't remove my makeup completely, but it does make a dent in it. I do feel like I need an oil-based cleanser to completely remove my makeup. But my favorite thing about this is that it doesn't make my face feel stripped. My skin always feels really nice after I use it. And it's just a high quality, really good cleanser. So that is the one that's my favorite as far as Sephora goes with my favorite cleanser that they have on the site. I know there's quite a few other ones on there, but that's my personal favorite. I do have one more perfume on here, and this has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. This is the YSL Black Opium. If you've tried the Tom Ford Black Orchid, this is similar, but I feel like this one is a little more feminine than Black Orchid, where Black Orchid really is that sexy, deep, like this one has that, but it's also a little bit more feminine. So if you're looking for something like that and you've never tried Black Opium, you might want to smell it first, read some more reviews, but this is a very long-lasting, wonderful scent if you like those sexy, girly scents. And then finally, last product, I believe, let's see, is that, yep, I got one more for you, and this I purchased. This is the Fenty Skin Hydrovisor Invisible Moisture Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sunscreen with Niacinamide. When I first tried this, I was a little taken aback by how strong the scent was, but the more I used it, the more I loved it and really enjoyed the scent. It's got a very girly, florally sweet scent, and I really love this. I used every last drop of it, and I did save the package for it because I do plan on repurchasing this. It is just a really nice moisturizer, and a lot of the moisturizers I've talked about recently I use at night. This one's a day one. It's got SPF 30 sunscreen in it. Honestly, I'll usually put another sunscreen on over top of it because I don't like using as much sunscreen as I need. I don't like using because it's expensive. I'd rather use, especially if I'm really going to be out in the sun that day, I'll use another sunscreen along with this because I just don't want to put on that much of this at that price point. But for days that I'm mostly going to be inside, I find this to be just enough, like trips to the mailbox and back kind of thing. I only use this one, but it's just a really nice day moisturizer. Seeps into the skin very nicely, very light, and it's just a beautiful formula. It makes my skin feel good, and the SPF, yay. Yay, SPF. So that, my friend, is my cart. That is what I put in as my recommendations for the Sephora sale. And I think that next I'm gonna do a video on the things I'm actually adding to my cart. So if you have recommendations for me of things that I should buy at the Sephora sale, please leave those in the comments down below, along with any opinions on anything I talked about today, because as you know, you are part of the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. I would love to know your thoughts because we all have different faces and different opinions, and just because I say something doesn't mean that that is the rule of law for everybody. So you weighing in on these is really important so that we can all learn from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you'd like to watch another video, YouTube should be recommending a couple for you right over here to watch. But if it is your time to go, no problem at all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you. And I'll see you in a video very, very soon.